Sue in Rockville. Hello, Sue. How do you do?
I do. And welcome back, my friend.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad your body is holding up.
Thank you.
I mean, because,
Barely.
after 40, things start to get
Yeah,
fine.
things start to go. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you have some Able Skeevers in Solvang?
What's that?
Did you eat some Able Skeevers in Solvang?
That sounds dirty, but I don't know what it is.
I believe it's a pastry.
Oh.
They're pancakes.
Oh,
I think everything is made of pastry there, even the entire town. Every building.
Because it's adorable. The town is adorable.
Yes.
It surely is. Listen, I would like to just point out that there were over 600 marches across the country and 10 times as many people in D.C. at the march on Saturday. And amazingly enough, no one attacked the police. No one stormed the Capitol. No one threatened to hang and murder members of Congress.
Imagine that.
It's just real. What a puzzlement. Our people all are peaceful and believe in democratic protesting and to preserve people's rights. And the terrorists of the GOP want to impose fascism, and they don't care how many of their own people die from COVID because they plan to steal every election from this point on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but
why isn't that, Steph, why isn't that the number one story every day? Why isn't the Eastman memo the point-by-point plot to steal and overthrow of democracy the number one story every day on television?
yeah. And didn't Ali Alexander, first of all, why isn't he in prison? Didn't he just say he has actually said he got help from members of Congress? Chop, let's go, Merrick Garland. What is taking so long? There's got to be accountability, or they are going to do it again times 10, right?
And if you follow the money, you can see exactly where. I've been following the money since the attempted coup, and Ali Alexander was receiving millions from the Republican Attorney General's group, from dark money groups, all right wing, Heritage Foundation, Federalist people. You can just go on and on and on, and they all were getting money. This was a widespread conspiracy to set up January 6th, and it all emanated out of the White House.
Yep, absolutely. Well, things are heating up. Chris is, as we speak, finding my Dragnet music. There somewhere.
Got it.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the week, man. The next big clash between the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot and members of Trump's inner circle will play out on Thursday this week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When subpoenaed officials need to respond to the committee, whether they comply or not. Trump is faced with a fast approaching deadline to attempt to block the National Archives from releasing records from his White House that could shed light on attempts to overturn the 2020 election. So staffers Mark Meadows, Dan Scavino, Steve Bannon, and Kash Patel also on deadline to turn over their records. Chairman Benny Thompson said he is willing to issue criminal referrals to the DOJ to anyone who ignores the deadline. Yes, thank you. Lessons learned from the last time, right? The committee has already been hearing secret testimony from other members of the former administration that could be sprung on the Trump higher-ups should they be compelled to answer questions, which that's why I'm sure they're going to try to get out of it like the cowards that they are.
Yep.
Okay. There has got to be accountability for all. I mean, every story since I was gone, right, Travis, is, all these talking points. Oh, this was an unarmed, peaceful protest. No, many of them were armed. It's a lot of this stuff that we've... Talk amongst yourselves. I'll find it.
Rutabaga.
It was all that of the Stephanie Grisham book.
Yeah.
Her. Who even remembers her? She never even had a press conference, but whatever. Okay. Carry the 4 divided by 7. Here it is. Hang on. Hold, please.
Oh, dear.
No, but the new report details the dangerous weaponry brought by the Capitol rioters,
Yeah.
despite claims that they were unarmed. Fact that has not received enough coverage, has been falsely denied by many figures on the right, is the serious weaponry brought by many of the insurrectionists. Some of Trump's extremist supporters actually did carry guns into a federal building. Various Trump supporters descended on D.C. that day armed for battle with guns and other potentially lethal weapons. Some had knives and tasers. A number of others were arrested in downtown D.C. and they had rifles, pistols, explosive materials, large supplies of ammunition, which obviously this is, been a talking point from Republicans. And by the way, how are polls not weapons?
Well, and also, we didn't get around to talking about last week, but Rachel played that footage or the audio of the people who were trapped inside the Washington Monument,
Right.
by rioters,
Right.
before, like at 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
The
Well,
Park
no.
Service
Well,
ranger.
that's the other thing. The more and more that's coming out. I know, like the negotiations are getting all the oxygen, but hold please, hang on.
Oh, another peas and carrots, peas and carrots?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't think we were getting to this. Just Sue dragged us into this section
Okay.
of the show.
Rutabaga.
Is the January 6th committee the clever go?
I've got it. Hold on. Nobody help me. I'm fine.
Well, it's your first day back.
I know.
You're allowed a little
Yeah.
bit.
There was a stack.
It's
Yes.
everything's new for mommy.
Okay. Are you still looking?
No, I got it.
Okay.
No, this part, the U.S. Park Police radio recordings show officers were overwhelmed by Trump-supporting mobs in Washington hours before the violent breach of the Capitol. Even before Trump whipped the crowd into a frenzy at the pre-riot rally at the National Mall, the cops radioed that they were overwhelmed by mobs and people they suspected were armed at the Lincoln Memorial and Washington Monument.
Yeah.
Were unable to check numerous unattended bags for bombs or weapons. Hours later, pipe bombs were discovered, remember, at the two DNC and the RNC. It renews questions of why law enforcement was so unprepared for the violence at the Capitol. How many times must I tell you? Because they were white Trump supporters and everybody was told to stand down.
Yep.
And it came from the top. Oh, I love that they have to write this. It contrasts with the stunning lack of preparedness on January 6th, as opposed to the peaceful Black Lives Matter. What could be the difference in the protesters? What could it be? Yeah, they were armed like they were going into Fallujah for the peaceful Black Lives Matter. Okay. 7 hours of recording make it abundantly clear the Park Police were unprepared for the threat of a riot, lacking manpower, plans, and supplies. Yes, on and on. We knew all this.
Yeah.
Because they knew they were white Trump supporters. Okay. And by the way, how many times did we say this? Speaking of Black Lives Matter. Boogaloo boy who impersonated a Black Lives Matter supporter and shot up the police station pleads guilty.
Thank you.
We said this over and over again, that these protests were largely peaceful.
Yep.
And there were provocateurs. You remember what was it, Seattle or Portland? The guy, that was covered head to toe. I mean,
That was in
COVID
Minneapolis.
had something to do because people had masks.
Right.
But they were clearly posing as Black Lives Matter, and like smashing windows and all that.
Think of the umbrella guy in
Yeah,
Minneapolis.
umbrella guy. That's where?
Minneapolis.
It's also provocateurs, not provocateurs. Provocateurs makes
Listen,
them sound.
I want it to
makes them
be
sound
more like
cute.
Mouseketeers.
No, they're not.
The evil
Provocateurs.
Mouseketeers.
Pardon me.
Provocateurs, yes.
You're right. It makes it sound too fun. Like a cross between Mouseketeers.
Yeah, provocateur. Yeah, no.
Fun. Wow.
Pardon me.
Fun! Wow!
Okay.
That's a provocateur.
A member of an extremist group that seeks to spark a civil war pled guilty to a single count of rioting this past week. Traveled from Texas to Minneapolis to sow chaos after George Floyd was killed by police. He admitted he fired 13 rounds from an assault rifle into the 3rd Precinct police station. He posed as a supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, was caught on security footage yelling justice for Floyd and opening fire on the building. This is why they tried to use it was Antifa on January 6th, because they always accuse you of doing what they are doing. There's no evidence ever of Black Lives Matter or Antifa people posing as Trump supporters anywhere.
They're not provocateurs.
Yes.
Well, and we
or
had-
provocateurs.
No, we had the story last week also about the Trump official who said that they suppressed any information about what was going on at the border. They suppressed
Right.
anything that had to do with white nationalism and white nationalists and
Yeah.
white national terrorists, domestic
Yeah.
terrorism.
Yeah.
I mean, they were suppressing and hiding all of this stuff just
Yeah.
to. Ugh.
And this is The other, again, it's not getting enough press. The huge part of this story, why it's an ongoing problem, and domestic terrorism is our number one threat. This one, a former U.S. soldier arrested for breaching Capitol grounds on January 6th in full tactical gear.
Yep.
A former U.S. Army Special Forces soldier who ran for Congress as a Republican in Florida in 2020 was arrested and charged for his role in the riot January 6th. He was wearing full military gear, including a helmet, radio, tactical vest, had visible large surgical trauma shears tucked into his vest. And then this story. Hacked data obtained by BuzzFeed shows several active duty military and police officers asking to join the Oath Keepers militia in the days after the riots at the U.S. Capitol. They write, interest among some in law enforcement or the military has not appeared to wane when it comes to joining the group, even as federal cases against Oath Keepers continue to grow. This is a big problem.
Yeah.
We've talked to Frangela about this and others about, and Frank Flaguzzi, Malcolm Nance about this, about military and police. Mommy has a story. Can I have some story time music? From Mommy's trip? So my bike guide, one of my bike guides, Ron, who's fantastic, in Santa Ynez, we rode like 35 miles together. Or no, wait. No, this wasn't Ron. This was Chris. This was our original bike guy with our group. But we were chatting what I do, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, well, if you're a liberal, you won't like me. I'm a former cop. And I said, actually, one of my oldest, dearest friends is a former LAPD. And so we got into an interesting talk. But who I actually heard from on my birthday, my former LAPD. He's my bodyguard, remember?
I remember.
Just don't repeat that story. It mirrored the Whitney. It mirrored
in the parking lot.
We've all heard the story.
You know, a lot of things happened there, including a lot of stuff with Larry Elder at that KBC parking lot. That had the source of all evil.
Wait a minute. Did the same thing happen with Larry Elder that happened with this cop?
No. All right, I made out with him briefly, but my point is, okay, it mirrored the Whitney Houston bodyguard film, but but he's an old friend.
You're a terrible lesbian.
Oh my God! No wonder
that was a long time ago.
No wonder nobody wants to get with you.
It's a brief indiscretion. In the 90s. Travis, I'm only talking to you now.
I'm still judging.
This one knows too much.
I know too much.
I've heard the stories. I'm judging.
Buried.
Bad lesbian. Bad.
Anyway,
bad.
we had a really... Okay, wait, hang on. Let me see if I can find the text exchange. So I
Are
told
we
him...
done with the music?
Yeah, it's fine. Hold, please. Let me see if I can find
You're
it.
a bad, naughty lesbian, Stephanie
Right,
Miller.
whatever.
You need to be spanked.
I'm not good at anything.
No, you're not.
All right, hang on. I can't find it
Oh
right
my
now.
God, what is wrong with you this morning?
Listen, I'm freestyling.
She's not a tech-savvy
I'm
youth,
freestyling.
that's for sure.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. My point is, because I said he is. He's one of my oldest, dearest friends, and this is what kills me about this. Really, they're the pro-police part. They're the ones that voted against funding for Capitol Police. They're the ones that are, Fox News and others dragging the, police officers that testified about January 6th. So don't tell me anyway. Anyway, I told him the story. I said it's so great to hear from you, and I had this thing with my bike guy and blah blah blah. And he said, miss you too. Actually, moving to Idaho has made me realize I'm more moderate than conservative. Left the Republican Party some time ago.
Wow.
Trump and his followers were just too much. I can't believe the number of people that have excused the January 6th insurrection. That was the most un-American, traitorous act I've seen in my lifetime. I have no patience. There is no excuse. Hope you're well. And I just said, oh my God, so happy to hear you say that. Are you kidding me? The pro-cop party beating Capitol Police with Blue Lives Matter flags? Even our troops don't engage in hand-to-hand combat for hours anymore. No wonder so many of those poor guys killed themselves. This version of the GOP are terrorists, period. Because he used to be LAPD counterterrorism force. And he knows terrorists when he sees them. And this is, you're either, terrorist excusing representatives, or you help them, in which case you're a terrorist too. Okay, so anyway, that was just...
Did you also say you missed his tongue?
Pardon me?
Did you also say you missed his tongue?
It's a long time ago. Listen, it's very... Ask Whitney... Oh, you can't ask Whitney Houston, but it's very it's very emotional, your bodyguard.
If I
He
were
protected me from a lot of drag queens in the gay parade in Hollywood. Remember? Didn't we broadcast live from the Halloween parade in Hollywood? That was he was my bodyguard.
That was when you wore that questionable Uncle Sam suit.
I know. Honestly, the only threat I was under is that gay men might actually make me look better. Might have been like a drive-by hairdressing or something. So I didn't really need protection. I would have worn much better footwear.
If I was a single eligible woman, I would be questioning going out with you based on all of
It
these
was
stories.
in the 90s. Where's my thing?
Oh, you need a thing.
Okay.
She's like, get
Really?
me out
I'm
of here.
rusty? I'm rusty? Okay.
Exit stage left.
All right, listen, you missed my point about a former cop that's on the right side of...
Oh, I got your point.
Well, don't bring up the other extraneous
Unpleasantries?
things.
Or were they pleasantries?
How long ago was that?
Did you tongue his ear?
No.
That's your MO.
Yeah, that's what you do.
He is
And
very,
not everybody likes that.
very
you know.
handsome.
Not everybody.
Well, I do. 48.
I know you do.
All right, let's move on. I mean, do we even need to do a commercial for the Steph store? I mean, the shirts are flying off the right. Look at this. Look at it.
Hey,
Get your face
look
up
at
there.
that.
Get your face up there. Look. We have them for Team Pfizer, Team J&J. We are all Team Vaccine here. We have amazing.
That's right.
And you can get it on everything. Right, Chris? Not just shirts.
Bath mats, shower curtains. You can get it on art, a clock. You can get
Duvet.
a selfie bomb on a clock.
We have Stephanie Miller swag. We have sexy liberal swag. And, of course, all the vaccine shirts. Get it now. StephanieMiller.com. Whee!